Hello, how are you doing, Phil?
I am good, thank you. Thank you very much.
Ah,
I'm
good,
doing well.
good stuff. Thank you. You are now live on the Mr. TARDIS YouTube channel. Chat, everybody say hi. I know that Philip can't see me, which is a shame because I have brought props, my own
Well,
second-hand Doctor
you
Who
say that.
stuff.
I've got you. Look, I've got you on my iPad here as well,
Oh,
so I
wonderful.
can see you.
Though, very
I
good.
might there might be a delay with that though. So
Yeah, give it like 4 or 5 seconds. I'll by the time I finish my in-depth descriptions, it'll have appeared on screen. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us this evening, Phil. Hope you're all good. So what is it that you wanted to talk about this evening?
well, it's a kind of new project that I started that on one hand it's been something I've been thinking about for years, and on the other hand, I finally went, "Oh, I'm going to do this," and did it within a couple of hours of deciding that I was going to do it. And it's a Twitter account called Secondhand Who, and the basic premise of it is that it will tweet out when things are spotted in charity shops or secondhand bookshops or any sort of places that sell secondhand stuff, boot sales maybe, anything that people spot that is Doctor Who related merchandise. So books, audios, board games,
Hmm.
action figures, anything really that is Doctor Who merchandise. If somebody spots it in the wild for sale secondhand and they don't want to buy it themselves, they can take a quick picture of it, tweet DM the account and say, "Hey, this is in this place," and the account will tweet it out so that anybody looking for that item can find it.
I like the idea, like a sort of Doctor Who geek spotters guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because I was, what's got you so fascinated in this topic? Because it's something that you've got to like maintain and you've got to curate and filter through all the messages and stuff. So it's clearly something that has you've got a personal interest.
Yeah, I mean the idea I've had floating around in my head for years because I can't walk past a charity shop without popping in and just quickly for like 1 minute just scanning the bookshelves to see if there are any Doctor Who books in there.
Mm.
So I've always thought this would be a really useful thing to have. And in the back of my head, I was like, I could start this, but never getting around to it for
Mm.
about 2 years. And then in the space, and then I was in town one day, and there were about three charity shops which had Doctor Who books in that I wasn't buying because I already owned them. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just quickly snap some pictures of these. And then I had them on my phone, and about a week later, I was like, you know what? I am going to start that Twitter account.
Mm.
And then on the day, I came up with the name, and I quickly emailed Josh Carr of the Who Knew podcast because I know he's very good at logo designs.
Oh, it's his
So I
birthday
said,
today as
"Is there
well,
any
I think.
chance you could get a logo to me really quickly for this project that I've got an idea for?" And he was brilliant and did that really quickly and came up with this amazing logo. And then I just started the Twitter account and off it went. And I've been really bowled over by how many people have engaged with it so far. We've already got, in the space of a couple of weeks, about 750 followers. People have been, DMing their tips and their photos of when they've spotted them, which I have retweeted.
Mm.
So it's been, going really well. Quite pleased with it.
Now, I'm just looking on the Twitter account now. It's also Josh Carr's birthday today as well. Who
It
knew?
is. Happy birthday, Josh.
Happy birthday, Josh. I'm just looking now. So shame on me. I was not following the account already. It followed me, but I've only just followed it. So I apologize for the lateness on that. But yeah, because one thing that I've recently acquired, and it was because my friends threw me a surprise birthday party last year. It's in the cupboard, so I couldn't get it, but it's Dalek Operation.
Oh, okay.
I need
Yeah.
I need to ask where that came from because that's definitely secondhand. It's working perfectly fine. It still shouts exterminate if you touch the sides. But yeah, I think it's amazing is what you're able to find secondhand because Doctor Who has such a especially during the wilderness years, all of these books and VHSs and everything. It's such a massive back catalogue of stuff that you can get really, really cheap as well, like whether it's online or these secret finds in charity shops.
Yeah. From the stuff that's being sent in and from my own experience of looking around charity shops, a lot of it, most of the stuff that's found these days does tend to be revival series stuff.
Mm.
But you get the odd find of a classic series thing here and there. I used to find a lot, like I've been looking in bookshops and charity shops for Doctor Who books I think I bought my first one from a charity from the Oxfam bookshop probably 17, 18 years ago.
Mm.
So I've been going in bookshops looking for Doctor Who books for a long time. And back then you'd see a lot of Target novelizations and even a lot of like, because they were still, when I first bought one, they were still releasing the Eighth Doctor books and stuff. So those books and stuff were popping up. But now it is a lot of new series stuff. But I'm hoping we'll get some classic series stuff show up as well.
Yeah, I remember it was like it was over like 10 years ago when I was first like doing Doctor Who YouTube stuff. I got a copy of War of the Daleks from a secondhand bookshop in Scarborough. And I made a video on it. It's been lost to the sands of time, the video itself, because it was part of a different YouTube channel. That's a whole different story. But yeah, so that I got it for like £2, an Eighth Doctor Dalek novelization. So that was like my very first one.
Yeah.
But I've got a little selection if you'd be willing to judge my second-hand output.
Yes.
So
let's have a look.
The script of The Tomb of the Cybermen by Kit Pedler and Jerry Davis from Titan Books.
Nice.
I got this, and also I got this online. I don't know why I bought it randomly. It was just on Amazon, I think. But it happens to be signed by Sonny Caudenez and also Deborah Watling. So it wasn't advertised as being signed. It wasn't mentioned in the description or in the title of it, but it has signatures from 2 Patrick Troughton Doctor Who stars randomly.
That's really weird. You think they would big that up to try and get the price up a bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't realize. Maybe it was somebody who had, I don't know, been given it and hadn't realized, or inherited it from somebody and hadn't realized.
Yeah, like, oh, it's just in a box. Let's take a photo of the cover. Oh, let's just flip through. Oh, yeah, it's in one piece. Let's sell it. But yeah, so this book it's a first edition print from 1989. And also a lot of because I was late to the Doctor Who Steelbook train, I got Power of the Daleks on Steelbook from CEX. It came with the cardboard sleeve and everything, but I spilt tea on it before we started the stream, so that's why I should never be near anything.
Oh no.
And also, I was told that this was a second-hand opened Macra Terror steelbook, but it is sealed. I have not opened it yet, so I don't know why they're able to do that. But also, one of my favourite things that I've gotten second-hand is Downtime on the Wilderness Years movie with the Yeti. And it definitely does not star copyrighted characters.
I remember seeing those in a secondhand shop. It would about 2008, 2009. I remember seeing VHS versions of them. I think they were VHS. They might have been DVD. Such a long time ago, I can't remember. But at the time, I didn't really know what they were, and I just saw these kind of vaguely familiar, because I hadn't seen much of Classic Who back then either, and I'd seen bits and pieces, but I like recognized vaguely. Is it Zygons in that one?
Oh, it's the Yeti in Downtime, but there is
Yeti in Downtime.
There is a Zygon by BBV, I think.
Yeah, okay, it might have been the Zygon ones I'd seen then, not Downtime.
There is a Sontaran one, Shakedown.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, what is this? I didn't have a clue what it was at the time, and hence did not buy it, but.
But yeah, I can't resell this one. I spilt tea on it before. I've just taken out the sleeve. You probably can't see it on webcam, but tea has seeped into it, so I've ruined the collector's value of this. I can't.
Oh no!
I can't, in good conscience, feature this on the Secondhand Who Twitter account or try and sell it or anything. But yeah, so what has been the most surprise find that you've had on that account so far? Like something you never thought you'd see again, or something you didn't.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we've only been going just over a week and a bit, maybe like 2 weeks or so. There's not been like any really thing that I've been amazed that has been in a shop, like a copy of Lungbarrow or something like that. There was one Virgin Missing Adventures, I want to say. I think it was Missing Adventures, not New Adventures book that came up quite early on. But most of it's been the kind of New Who novels, reference books, those kind of things. We've had I think you've just scrolled past the board game that was there. From collections of Doctor Who magazines. That's quite interesting that some shops have had from the 90s and things.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, you can just go on eBay and be like Doctor Who magazine issue 117, and bam, Um, it's quite it's
Yeah.
what and I'm gonna see
That isn't that is a Lungbarrow in the wild, but it's at Galley One in LA. So the account
$150.
is meant to be UK only, but I thought as Galley One was going ahead in LA and Ivy there had tweeted about that, I thought, oh well, I'll just retweet that because that is like the holy grail of the missing Doctor Who books. If you see that in a charity shop, especially if the charity shop doesn't know what it's worth and has put it for like £1, grab it.
In the chat, Ollie Tomlinson Music mentions Affleck's in Manchester for Doctor Who figures. Have you ever been to Affleck's in Manchester?
I haven't. I've never been to Manchester.
Oh, shame. But 2 seconds. I'll try and find like a photo. There is like a second-hand figurine shop in Affleck's, which is a big like I want to say hipster market, which is not derogatory. It's very, very accurate. But it has like a massive amount of second-hand figurines in these glass shelves, so you can see like rows upon rows upon rows of pig slaves or rows upon rows of Cybermen and cyber controllers. I can't find any Twitter images, unfortunately, but you'll have to take my word for it. It's
okay.
Like if you want basically any new series and also a lot of classic series Doctor Who figurines, Affleck's is the place to go. They're not in their boxes; they're just freestanding. But yeah, that's definitely one place to go for it. And rows upon rows of Rose Tyler.
Oh, I bet, yeah. The one that stood in a really weird fighting pose type. Rose Tyler. I've got one of those.
Nice. But yeah, so if you wanted to let us know where you can find all of that stuff and also where you can find your own stuff as well. Like I feel like I've not properly introduced you to the uninitiated, Philip. What do and why?
So I've got a YouTube channel. It's just my name, Philip Hawkins, where I talk a lot about Doctor Who, but not exclusively about Doctor Who. Any geeky pop culture that takes my fancy, I talk about on there. So a bit of Star Trek, bit of the MCU, other superhero stuff, that kind of thing. But a large amount of it is Doctor Who. I'd say at least 50% of my channel is Doctor Who, if not more. And that's just my name, Philip Hawkins. So you can find me on YouTube and got all sorts of videos on there. Got a Red Dwarf podcast that I do with fellow YouTuber Adam Martin that we're going through all of the series. And you can find this new Twitter account at Secondhand Who. That's it. It's at second, but it's a 2ND, not the word second. So Secondhand Who is where you can find this Twitter account. And then if you're passing a charity shop or a secondhand bookshop or anything like that, and you pop in and see that there's Doctor Who stuff there, take a photo, take a note of the price, DM the account and let us know where it is and we'll retweet it out.
Yeah, awesome stuff. And with your Red Dwarf podcast with Adam, I feel like we're part of the social group of people who have been regularly interacting with Adam, but he kept the secret of his Big Finish appearance.
Yes.
He kept that from us. We can't trust him anymore.
I know. He was like, I was recording with him almost every week for the Red Dwarf podcast for like a year, and he did not mention it once. He was very good at keeping that secret. And I had conversations with him about how I had dropped off buying the Ninth Doctor range, not because I didn't like them, but just because I needed to save some money somewhere and I couldn't keep up with all the ranges. So I'd had a conversation a few months before it got announced of him about how I'd stopped buying the Ninth Doctor ones, and he must have just been there going, "No, don't stop buying now." But of course, I picked it back up again as soon as I knew he was in it.
But what's the name of that podcast again?
It's called Everybody's Dead Dave. You can find it on all podcast platforms. Plus, I put it up on my YouTube channel as well.
Wonderful stuff. Philip, is there anything else you wanted to talk about or plug or anything else, or we all good?
No. I just wanted to try and, spread the word about Secondhand Who, because obviously it's a project that the more people that contribute to it and the better it will be, and the more people that, the more posts we can get and more spread of the country we can get. Because otherwise, if it was just me doing it, it would be very Sussex and London focused, because I live in Sussex and I work in London, so it would all be just charity shops in Sussex and London. But it's really good that we've had like dozens of people already submitting stuff from all over the country, in Scotland and the North and Wales and all sorts of places. So that's really good. So the more places we can get, the better. So please do go along and follow that Twitter account and submit stuff if you see anything in the wild.
No, wonderful stuff. Yes, everyone in the chat and watching, do your civic duty and follow and contribute to the secondhand Who search. Philip, it's been wonderful chatting with you. Thank you so much for being here this evening.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
You have a great night. Take care, man.
Cheers.
But yeah, so all of those links are in the description below to Philip's YouTube channel, his normal Twitter account, and the Secondhand Who Twitter account. So yeah, check all of that out. Like I said, I'll try and maybe get some photos from Affleck's and send them to him just so he can see it. I don't know when's the next time I'm going to be in Manchester City Centre. I'd probably just make a trip. I'll make a trip and I'll claim it's for the live stream, so my bus ticket is tax deductible. But yeah, chat, I hope you're doing well this evening. Yeah, I didn't realise that some tea had seeped in. You might be able, probably can't see, but some tea did seep into. You probably see the moisture at the bottom of the DVD case. There we go. There's the moisture of the tea that has gotten inside. Oh dear, my copy of Downtime. But now this is my copy of Downtime that you can never take away from me because I've spilt tea on it. Oh, one second-hand thing I forgot to mention. I forgot to bring this up. It's a second-hand John Hurt Funko Pop. And I remember this. Did it come in a box? I think it came in a box. I have kept the box. I think it's just in the cupboard. But this John Hurt Funko Pop, I saw on eBay it goes for like £30 to £40, but it was in a cash converters for £7. And I'm just in there looking around and just looking, because I like to try and get some second-hand PlayStation 4 games and stuff. Because, Resident Evil 2 Remake for £5. Yes, please. And somebody in the cash converters recognised me and was like, oh, are you Mr. TARDIS? Oh, yeah, hi, I like your videos. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, what's your name? And all that good stuff. And then he was like, oh, by the way, we've got a John Hurt Funko Pop in the window. It goes for we're selling it for £7, but if you on eBay it's like £30-40. Like, do you want it? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I bought it, and I've not sold it. I like him. I know people in the chat are going, Funko Pops, but it's a John Hurt Mohawk War Doctor. How many John Hurt Funko Pops are there? Probably not many, are there? Who is the actor who has been on Funko Pops the most? That's probably a trivia question. I think Chris Pratt and or Harrison Ford are the most Lego-fied characters. But, yeah, endless waste of plastic. True, I do know that in the Forbidden Planet in Manchester, they have a sale section, and it's just full of rows upon rows of Jupiter Ascending Funko Pops, because they were expecting that film to be way bigger than it actually turned out to be.